Hello, everybody, and welcome to our class on the magic of keys. And keys have been a source of mystery and intrigue for as long as there have been keys. Think about the idea of moving into a house and finding a key that doesn't seem to go to anything. Kind of interesting. So, we use keys in magic for what you would imagine for opening, closing, locking, and unlocking. And I'm just talking about regular skeleton keys. Now, you can also use modern day keys that are not skeleton keys as well, because they do exactly the same thing. They are going to lock and unlock. When we look at the magic of keys, we're talking about the energy of symbolism and what keys mean to you. Now, think about how it feels if you have had this experience. The first time a landlord hands you a key to your apartment, or the first time you get the key to your new home, your first home you've purchased, or a home that you dearly love. That key holds your future. That key has all the opportunities for what's going to keep you safe, for what's going to hold your stuff, for what's going to be your sanctuary, which imbues the idea of keys with tremendous power. Keys can lock the door and keep you safe. Keys can unlock the jail cell and let you out. So, in any instance of using keys in magic, we're going to focus on those ideas and those energies. Also, a lot of times keys are made of certain metals that convey energy on their own to the spell work that we're doing. So, I want you to also think about the difference in these two keys I'm going to show you. Both are skeleton keys. Both would unlock or lock a door just fine, but look at them. Think of the energy of one versus the energy of the other. This is a bright, shiny, new brass key. This one's been around the block a couple of times. So we think about which one appeals to you and which one is more appropriate to the type of spell work that you're doing with the key. Another thing I want to bring up is the use of keys in rituals. Now, we're going to talk about specific spells in a little bit that would benefit from key magic, but I use keys in a lot of my different spells. I use them in money spells, love spells, success spells, even health spells, because in any of those instances, we want to unlock or lock something. Most of the time, we're unlocking and removing an obstacle that's in our way. So think about that key again. If the door's locked, you can't get in, you can't get through, you can't move forward. You can only go back the way you came. If you unlock that door, you can go forward to where you need to be. And that is your gateway for the energy of the spell. So if I'm doing a health ritual for somebody who's ill, they can't find the reason why they're sick, doctors have run all kinds of tests, they just don't know, I would use key magic to unlock that information, to assist their body in telling the medical staff what's wrong with them. If somebody is unable to find love, I would use the key to unlock the idea of why they're not attracting in love and to bring that love to them. In money, why do I never have any money? Well, use your key to open the door to the room that has all the money in it. The fortune can come to you through the key. So the keys are great for creating opportunities that are currently blocked to you, or letting you get to the opportunities that exist. Now, sometimes what you might want to consider is that you're being blocked from those opportunities because you picked up some negative energy along the way. This could be from a curse, which people, yes, they do curse people all the time. It's not always just poke the doll, stir the cauldron. It can be just sending intense negative energy to you. We get that on social media. We get that on the freeway. We get that with our families. And that by itself can create the same responses in your energy field as a curse that somebody deliberately puts on you using spell work. So it's always good to have a spiritual cleansing before you do this work. So we know that we're working with your baseline energy and we're not having to fight through and slog through any type of obstacles people may have sent to you or created incidentally by just being negative at you. So we get you nice and clean, and then we can use that key spell work more effectively because we've removed any extraneous obstacles, and now we just use the key to get through the obstacles that are naturally existing. Now, before we use a key, we want to make sure that we are blessing the key. We're not just picking it up at a thrift store and using it because we don't know what that key was used for before. Before we bless it, we want to basically cleanse the key. Now, you can do that by taking the key and laying it on top of a piece of selenite. And that selenite will draw any negative energy away from it and will amplify the natural energy of the key. You can also leave the key out in the moonlight. If you're going to use the key to create openings and opportunity, you put it out in the light of the full moon. If you're going to use it to close something or hide something, which is another great use for a key, lock it away, then you put it into the not light of the dark of the moon and let it collect that darkness around it. And that way, if you need to hide something from view forever, you visualize that you're putting it in the room and you're locking the door and you're the only one that has the key to get in there. Now, because of the way that, backing up a little bit, we talked about cleansing the key. We need to also empower the key. Those are two separate events. To empower the key, what I do is I bless it using earth, air, fire, and water. So I'm going to take the key and dip it into a glass of blessed water that I have blessed, or that I have put a spray of Florida water into to bless it. In it goes, take it out. Then I'm going to put it into the smoke of some incense that is in keeping with the work I'm going to use the key for. And I just let the smoke kind of go around the key so that it's blessing it. Next, I can take the key and put it directly into a cup of dirt so that earth is blessing it. After that, I pass it through the flame of a candle and I have the blessing of fire. You can also put it in front of your god or goddess statue and ask your patron deity, if you have one, to make the key safe and empowered for you to use. So you're going to cleanse the key, you're going to bless the key. Now, because of the energy, again, that we as humans assign to the key is great for doing work to find a new home for yourself, because the key represents a new home. One way that you can do this, if you have certain areas you're thinking of living in, is you can use the key as a pendulum and hold it over the map or over just a diagram that you've drawn representing different towns or areas you're thinking of moving into, and wait for the key to move. Now, different people read pendulums in different ways. To me, if the key is moving away from me and toward me, that's a yes. If it's moving side to side, that's a no. You will find your way to work with it. But you can literally use this to take over a map and watch where the key starts to move, sometimes in a circle, saying, hey, look here, look here, look here. And that starts to target in where you should move. If you're choosing between a few houses, hold the key over the addresses written on a piece of paper and watch where it moves in a circle. And that'll say, pick this one. This is your number one option. This is the best option that we have here. You may also want to use a key to separate your energy from a home that you're leaving. So let's say that you've moved out, you have cleaned the home with Chinese wash and 4 thieves, you've used smoke to clear out the air, you're done, you're ready to go, and you want to cut ties with this home so you're not feeling longing for it, so you're not having anything follow you back from that. You just want a clean separation. You use the key magic to do a cut and clear with that property. So what you would do for that is take a white candle, write the address of the place on the candle, attach the key to it and let it burn. And that will clear away. You can also use a black candle. That will clear away the energy between the two of you. Another way that the key energy is used is, and I got this from Lenormand cards. When we're reading Lenormand and the key card comes up, it means pay attention to the next card or the card that pairs with the key, because this is the key to everything. This is the key to what's going to solve your problem. This is the key to what you need to do moving forward. And so I use the key in meditation if I need an answer, if I need problem solving. I will cleanse it, I will bless it, and then I will hold it in meditation and visualize and see what I need to do to resolve a problem or to create better opportunity. You can also, if you're not given to that sort of visualization, put the key under your pillow or in your pillowcase down in the bottom and tell your dream time to give you the answer. So there are many different ways that you can use a key. Another way is rites of passage. If you are going through a croning or you're going through becoming a mother, you want to unlock that part of yourself to be more maternal. You can do spell work for that as well. So keys provide a wonderful entry for us. They also provide protection by locking the door between us and something that wants to harm us, or something that's inconvenient, or a bad habit we don't want to go in contact with anymore, a relationship we really want to have in our past. We just put it behind the door, lock the door. Now, again, if you are not a person who visualizes, you can journal this. You can write it and say, with this key, I lock the door between myself and this person. They may not come in again unless I choose to open the door. They are apart and away from me. And then you burn the paper to send the energy out there and put the key someplace where you can keep in mind that relationship is a no-go, that we're not going there. A tip I want to give you while we're talking about that, one of the biggest downfalls I see in people who are doing cut and clear magic or cord cutting magic between themselves and another place, themselves and a time in life, or themselves and another person, another job, anything that they're cutting ties with, is they will continue to think about and allow themselves to think about that other person, that other situation. They'll go onto social media and see what they're doing and try to find out what's up with them now. That immediately reconnects the cords between the two of you and negates the cord cutting that you did. Now, of course, it's superhuman to never think of that situation or that person again. However, you can redirect, and you need to come up with a plan to redirect so that as soon as you start to think about that person, you pop a rubber band on your arm, or you fidget like this, or you do something like read a book or go for a walk to get your mind off of that person. If you're just doing a quick, oh my gosh, there they are, just push it away. And that will help not get the cords to attach quite so much. But if you're obsessing, if you're driving past their house, if you're talking to other people about them, that's just going to cause those cords to stay very tightly connected. So those are the ways that I use keys in my practice. I use them a whole lot in ritual, a whole lot in spell work. I think of those as two separate things. To me, a ritual is more elaborate and more planned. Spell work is more centralized and on the fly. But in both cases, I use keys extensively. I've even had little tiny keys that are not real keys that would open a door, but just little tiny keys that I would wear on a necklace so that I have the energy of locking or unlocking that situation on me and touching me. And that can be very helpful as well. A symbolic key will work very similarly to an actual key. So I hope that was helpful to you. I hope you enjoy using keys in your practice. They are one of the hoodoo curios that I enjoy and I employ most. And I'm excited to share those with you. So take care, everybody. And I'll see you next week with another expanded class. Bye-bye.